Hello, welcome to the Recognitive channel where we are about learning and relearning. This is a personal project that is sponsored by my free time. Imagine that there's a fire in a building in a very isolated part of the city. Two twins are walking past the building and they hear the outcry of a child. The child is probably scared and needs help right away. They're fit and strong, so they decide to take action. They act almost in perfect synchrony as they walk towards the building. As they come in, they hear that the cry is coming from the first floor, but the building is too wide and they cannot hear exactly where from. They flip a coin and one goes left and the other one goes right to cover the entire building as fast as possible. 5 minutes later, both twins come out of the building. The child is with one of the twins. The twin that went to the left managed to bring the child back. The child was behind the door that was locked from the outside. Which of the siblings should get the reward for saving the child? Who should get the award? If you're thinking that the twin that saved the child should win the award, then you have fallen victim for moral luck bias. Let's talk about moral luck. In this video, we will talk about a definition of morality, the description of the bias, some research behind this bias, and then we will go on to how this bias affects me and some strategies to overcome it. Let's get started with the definition then. Did you think it was going to be that easy? I will be honest, we will have to be very practical in this video. This will turn out to be more leaning to philosophy than social sciences, and I am even further away from any shade of comfort zone. There is not one definition of morality, and as you will see, moral luck has 99% basis on philosophy. So we have opened a Pandora box here that I was not ready to open. Just for morality, oh my god, look at this. I will refer to two definitions in the first part of the text that I just mentioned, a descriptive definition and a normative definition. Both relate to a code of conduct, but in the descriptive definition, we're calling more as accepted by individuals and put forward by a society or a group, while in the normative definition, we are appealing to rationality. Then let's define moral judgment as assigning praise or blame for an action or its consequences. Let's explore moral luck using this diagram that I built. You have some circumstances that trigger an intention for you to act. Notice that as you are having the intention, you are simulating the act and coming up with an evaluation of what this action and the consequences will be. And then you act. As the action itself takes place, the consequence could start realizing. At this moment, you or someone else might be doing an evaluation. The sizes and alignment of the boxes are not perfect in real life. Remember, this is just a model. Moral luck is happening at the moment of the evaluation after the fact. When you are doing a moral judgment based on all this situation and you weigh more things that are not in control of the person being judged, you are incurring into moral luck. See that this is both for praise and blame. So let's look at our example in the beginning of the video. As circumstances, the building was on fire and the siblings are there. The intention was the same for both. As an action, they went in and do a coin flip to see what area they would go to. Only one found the child. One of them was awarded. Why is moral luck a cognitive bias? Moral luck is assigning blame or praise and or making moral judgments on agents based on things that they do not have control of, or in other words, random elements. This makes it intuitively correct to consider such behavior as irrational. On my part, I'm not entirely convinced though. Now let's put a twist into our story. Something changes. As they're trying to attempt a rescue, it looks like the fire has taken over the building. After the coin flip, one of the siblings does find the child, but as they are coming out, the floor in front of them collapses and it kills the child. As the two twins come out, they find out an army of firemen already fighting the fire and ready to go into the window where the child originally was. Who is guilty of the death of the child? Why did you answer this way? The action was exactly the same. The outcome changed. I think we're getting closer to grasping the concept. Now let's dig deeper into the types of moral lock. I am going to make this part as simple as possible by using the story from the beginning. Constitutive lock is about who the agent is, their traits. What about them is entirely due to what they have chosen to be, or pure willpower? If they are courageous, isn't that the result of their upbringing? How about their selflessness? Circumstantial lock is about all what doesn't depend on the moral agent. In this case, the child and fire were happening in that specific building. The twins could live in another city or partying somewhere else, and then they wouldn't get the opportunity to be heroes. The resultant lock is the actual result of the action. It could go right or wrong. And then causal lock, which is connected to the other three. In this case, even Nagel recognizes that this is a spiral to hell, as it could lead to the point that we are not in control of anything, as everything has partially depending on something else, and basically he avoids talking about it. Now let's go about the research supporting the existence of this bias. I found a study from MIT where they're trying to identify the culprits for moral lock. They observed the moral blameworthiness assignment, but they discovered that actually the influence of false beliefs was stronger than the influence of the outcome or result. They also observed that the justification of the moral belief had part to play, but not that strongly. The conclusion is that we are harsher on people when we know their beliefs are false. I was not able to find more behavioral research like this. Philosophically, there is a debate regarding the validity of the concept of moral lock, or the solution. In his paper, A Case Against Moral Lock, David Enoch proposes to solve the issue about moral lock by splitting the moral judgment and the reaction. The example would be of a moral gamble. It might be morally justified to make a gamble, but then the agent is not entitled to the reward if the result of the gamble didn't turn in favor. In our case, we praise both twins morally for trying to save the child, but the reward is only given to the one that accomplished it. Let's talk now a little how I think this bias may affect me. I think countless times I have been a victim of this bias, in terms of judging people by the outcome of their actions. Since I started my journey about learning cognitive biases, I have tried to stop making uninformed assessments, but I think this concept brings it another perspective. The moral evaluation should be done regardless of the outcome, and that requires to understand the situation and context around the action. Let's see how to mitigate the effect of this bias. This is the pill that will cure you from this bias. Delay your judgment. Look into the information and circumstances. Recognize the effect of different kinds of luck. Look into other biases that might be affecting your evaluation and mitigate those too. Perform moral judgment. If you find this path too energy consuming, then take this other pill. Refrain from making any moral judgment. This is my suggestion to all of us. Now we proceed, as I promised, to the evaluation of the video. In this case, I consider that I scored a 3.5. The weak points is that I didn't look into any other brother or sister biases, and that my example was a little weak. And now we turn to our roulette for the topic of the next video, and the winner is essentialism. Wait, I have something more to say. As I was relating the story of the fire in the building, there were twins and a child. What gender were the twins? What gender was the child? Just for you to know, I never mentioned any gender. See you in the next episode. This is the Recognitive channel. Thank you for watching.